Give it to me. Oh God, it's so terrible. It's so terrible. Which is worse, Mark?
This one.
They're both terrible.
Yeah, this one's got a ting to it though that I hate.
Give it to me again. They're so bad. They're so bad. When you're on track drifting though, you don't even notice, which is hilarious. But just like revving them around in parking lots is torture. Hello everybody, we're here today in beautiful Cam's Acres out in Oklahoma. It is for sale if you need a drift track. We're here to test the rental cars. First one is the G37. I will show this in more depth in a bit when it's not so windy. And we also have the 350Z, which is still in the trailer. And let's get started. So we're gonna go drive this thing on track. We just drove it 3.5 hours out here. On the street. We're getting it ready for Drift Week. I'll do all the intro stuff later. Let's do this. All right, here we are. This is lap number 2, actually. We just did lap number 1. I meant to film it. Let's go see how this thing works. Show the whole thing with me driving. Lots of steering angle. The car has enough power. The gearing's pretty good because the second gear, it's very softly sprung. It's very comfortable in here. You drove it up. How was it, Mark, on the street?
It was nice to drive on the street.
Yeah. So it already has, I don't know, it'll have over 500 street miles by the end of today with us. Hasn't failed on the street at all. E-brake is very nice position. I like that. The dual caliper setup works really well. The angle and everything feels very natural. I don't know, I like it so far. What do you think, Mark?
I haven't driven it other than up here. It was nice to drive up here.
How did it feel on track there for that lap?
Felt good.
Yeah. We still have a throttle cut under braking. That's a thing modern cars do, is when you get on the foot brake, kills throttle pedal down to like 30% or something, and then you fall out of drift. So we still need to defeat that. But God, it's nice to have air conditioning in here.
Yeah, the only thing I can say is it probably feels like it needs more power. But I'm used to driving the V8 car and being in the V8 car, so like... Yeah.
It also has 08Cs on it, which are sticky tires, 265s. It has 265 08Cs in front and back. Let's go drive again. This thing has huge angle. This thing is great. Although the AC is getting less cold as we beat on it. What's up with that, Mark?
It's probably killing AC power.
Oh, because we're revving it so hot.
Because of load, yeah.
Ah. Alright.
Yeah, because as soon as we cool down, it's fine.
Well, I can't say this thing is dumb easy to drift.
Yeah.
Like, we haven't even made a mistake, really, other than just, like, maybe slowed down a little bit too much in a section or something. God, this thing is comfortable. I wish these things had more power.
Well, they can make more power.
No, I mean, like, without touching them or spending money.
Yeah.
Temps are good. I don't think we're going to beat on it like we would a Drift Week car right now, though. You know, like hot lapping?
Probably should.
Yeah.
I need to fix it now before Drift Week.
All right, let's do some more laps. Maybe we'll hot lap a couple real quick. See how long it takes to overheat.
We don't have an oil cooler on it, though, yet.
Oh God, Mark, that got it hot.
Yeah, it's like 3/4 gauge.
Yeah, uh-oh, we're gonna need a radiator, damn it. Aww.
Like I said, it also doesn't have an oil cooler.
Yeah.
And these things are known for oil temps. The oil cooler will be here Monday.
Probably need a radiator too, damn it.
Yeah.
It's already warm. Alright. Well, we're making notes. We're doing our job. We're doing our job.
You also have the AC on.
Yeah, but that's not going to make a big difference.
Yeah, it is. It's pumping hot air out there.
Yeah, but I mean, we have to have the AC on, Mark. We literally have to have the AC on.
Well, I'm just saying, the cooling can only get better.
Yes.
Cooler temps, no AC on, radiator, oil cooler.
I almost feel like it's pulling power already. It's pulling power.
Yeah.
It must be the oil temps. Let's talk about this car now. This car, I'm partway through the day. It's doing absolutely amazing. I'm cutting this in wherever though. This is the G37S. It's a 2008. I love this thing. It's just like a VQ or VR, whatever, 370Z, like 350Z G35 thing. But I'm guessing it makes like 290 to 300 horsepower. It's tuned, revs to 8,000 RPM, which is pretty cool. Weighs way too much at 3,600 pounds. And I think since we've put in a seat, a steering wheel, an exhaust, and a few other things, we might be down to like the 3,500 range, which is still really heavy for a drift car for me. But I'm gonna explain real quickly why I like it. One, stock engine, drivetrain, everything. It's getting a little bit hot after like 4 laps, but the tires are getting hot also, so I have to cool it down anyways. I love the body. The body looks very unique. I didn't think I would like G35 or G37s, but this thing looks way more modern. I really like the paint color. It's gonna get a lip for the Drift Games guys to give it a little bit of shape on the nose because it kind of comes back a little bit, and Dave is a style guy. I love it on these wheels, like meaty sidewalls. This is the worst part about the car, I need a PDR guy. I love the meaty sidewalls. It drives amazing. It's super soft on the suspension. I have some stickers on the ground from the track today at Cam's Acres. Hide these right here. But I have the seat cushions out right now. They're in the back seat because I'm a little bit tall. It's perfect with the seat cushions in for the street, but it's a bit tall with my helmet on because I'm tall, because this is a sunroof car. I assume all these things are sunroof cars. So anyways, I'm sitting there, and then on the street, we'll put that back in. The car is super comfortable compared to a 350Z. It's really similar to a 350Z, but there's just a lot more sound deadening in this car. I have a pull-up style handbrake, which I love because then I don't hover hand. I have a shifter extension on here right now because the stock VQ stuff feels so short. I think this is a bit exaggerated and long. It'd probably be perfect right there, but this just makes the throws a little bit more substantial, like my T56. We have the handbrake in here. Let me explain quickly too what we did to this car. So it has the bucket style lower still with non-true coilovers with a spring separate of the shock in the rear. And then we did a traction arm, and we did a, a tow arm. And I guess the camber is adjusted by the eccentric bolt on the bottom arm, I believe. Up front, we did a lower GK Tech arm, an extended arm, extended as short as we could get it because we don't have uppers to adjust camber. And then the GK Tech version 3 little adapter piece for an angle setup. Car has plenty of angle, suspension's nice and soft. Car feels great. I love the amount of angle it has a lot of angle, way more than you need. And it still drives like a progressive, like normal car, not like a big angle kit car where it crashes to angle or it's so fast that it feels twitchy or anything like that. Right now, I think we're running 6 degrees or 5.5 degrees of caster. We might be down to 5 degrees. We were adjusting a little bit, somewhere between 5 and 6 degrees of caster. I think 5 degrees of camber in front because we can't adjust it and that's all we could get to. Think 5 degrees. The back, we basically zero out camber as much as we can, and then we're running basically 0 toe in the rear, and we're running 1 millimeter of toe out in the front. And then, what else? For in here, I can't show this to you super well, but what we did is we removed the center console. I still have this piece to put back on, but I wanted it to look as stock as possible so it wasn't weird looking. So we took a piece of plate, we drilled holes in it to match the handbrake mounting, and then we marked where we wanted it on the center console area, and then we drilled holes in the thing to mount it to the chassis, true tacked nuts on the bottom. He did all this stuff, tucked nuts on the bottom, and then took the chassis and wallowed it out a little bit so that those 3 nuts could fit in, dropped that plate directly on top of the thing and welded it on so that we have this handbrake hiding there nicely. I still retain the cigarette lighter and stuff so Dave would feel comfortable. There's Mark, say hi Mark. And then absolutely full interior. You're down to all the electric seat stuff still works. He has heated seats still on that side, but I don't. And the car's working great. Right now it's getting hot after maybe about 3 to 4 laps, but your tires are getting hot as well anyways. But we still need to fix that at least a little bit. Also, during drift week, the temperatures will be down a bit, but we should just do some cooling stuff, probably at least an oil cooler at the very minimum, because these newer cars, the 37s, have oil heating issues.
It's raining.
Is it raining?
It's starting to.
Oh, crazy. Mark just did the, when you press the brake, it kills the throttle, so he tricked the ECU. How'd you do it?
I cut on this one, the pink wire on the small connector closer to the driver's seat.
Say that one more time so they know.
I think it's like 123. It's the pink wire on the G37 at least, in the closest connector, smallest one in the ECU.
And how about on the HR car?
It is the same connector, same wire, except it's pink and blue.
Which car is better of these two since you just drove that one and this one?
This one.
The G37's better than the HR WiseFab 350Z?
I don't like the WiseFab.
Oh,
it
man.
Feels really terrible.
Wow, it's going to jump out of this camera frame and hurt you.
It wants to just like jerk me around. It doesn't feel smooth. Maybe I just suck at driving, but this feels a lot better.
Way smoother in this car.
I think your PBM kit on the S14 feels a lot better.
Than the WiseFab?
Yeah.
WiseFab, Wout is going to kill you.
I don't care.
Wout is going to kill him. Don't hurt me, Wout.
I don't care, Wout. You can come
but
at me.
This car is better than you thought, isn't it?
It is. I didn't think it was going to be this good, but it's a really
And
nice,
these are cheaper than the 350Zs. Isn't that crazy?
Which is weird.
I know.
And they come with bigger brakes and like all the better stuff than you would get on a base model
370Z?
370 and stuff. So like, super nice.
Well, cool. Keep driving.
I'm letting the car cool down. It takes like 2 laps and that thing's hot.
Really? How do all these people that thing did drift week like that?
I have no idea. Maybe they don't drive as hard as we do. All right, so we just got done with the G37. Aaron loves that thing. He kind of broke an axle.
It was my fault. It takes a minute to always admit your fault when you hold the e-brake and clutch kick, but it's okay.
So we're testing the 350Z with full WiseFab, angle, rack relocation, all that stuff. But it is on some kind of garbage 275s. We're gonna see how Aaron likes this one compared to the G37.
I like that G37 a lot, man. Which do you like more?
I like the G37.
All right, let's do this. Second gear
lap. I messed up filming the first one. So after 2 laps, it gets pretty hot.
It was already heat soaked as well, so just to be clear on that.
It was heat soaked. We get about 4 laps when it's cold, before the thing gets hot. It doesn't have an oil cooler on it, which could be a real factor. It does have a radiator though.
What kind of radiator?
I think it's a coil.
Really?
Yeah. It's either a coil or a Shimmed. But I think the oil pressure looks good, which is good. That means no oil gallery gaskets for me.
It drives well. The steering is not joyful. Would you say that?
No, yeah, it's not joyful at all.
But it definitely works. It's kind of a weird feeling when something is so competent but not joyful. I think that's the motto of 350Zs in general. It's like they're not joyful, but they work super well.
I don't know, the GK Tech ones I've driven feel fine.
Drift better than the G35 or the G37, but in a different way. Like, it has garbage tires on it and a bunch of other things. I still like the G37 more, but this thing does rip pretty well. Different kind of car though. Which would you rather drive on the street between the tracks?
The G37,
yeah,
which I drove out here, but now I have to drive this back. So I'll definitely know by the time we get home.
The car's just kind of heat soaked now.
Yeah. So I had the heater on when you got in.
Oh, did you? I thought it was the AC.
No. The heater helps a little bit, but yeah, it's after like heat soaked in a couple of laps, it gets super hot.
Okay, so both cars are done testing for the day, and for everyone's information, that car, probably all in, prepped for the trip and stuff, cost more than the G37, which I got to get rid of these red badges. I hate that so much. I think that the G37s are kind of a better deal right now than the HR350Zs. I think people are sleeping on these things. They are a few 100 pounds heavier. They do have better motors. They're newer typically. The G35 and 37 audience is really weird. They like rag these cars out. I looked at multiple of them, and every one of them had straight cut or like straight piped exhaust. It was kind of a mess. And anyways, that car is almost ready for the trip. It just needs some cooling now on it. Needs a few other little things. Need those badges not to be red. This car also needs cooling, and like the body panel's a little bit better aligned and stuff. And that's how our test days go. So each of these cars has to be dragged out to a test day, which is obviously always in a different city than I live. Tires to test, fuels to test, fuel for the truck and trailer. Mark here with me, helping me and stuff, my own time. So it's not a cheap thing to do, taking these cars out and testing and doing all that stuff. And then we're not going to test them a second time. So we do have a couple more cars to test. God, this is so much stuff. But after this round, it's just cooling stuff, and we'll just have to pray that all the cooling stuff works properly. Bam.
Yep. Hopefully it'll be colder outside and the people won't be as hard on the cars as we are.
That's the mechanic talking. He's like, hey, it's gonna be fine. No. Luckily, all these cars are very similar though, so if we sort out the heating on one or two of them, all of them should be copy paste.